All right, welcome back, mi gente. We are back with another Teal Grit podcast. This time we have my boy Frankie, a member of the MoSkillz Times. Gonna chop it up. What's good, Frankie?
What's happening? What's going on?
Not much. You hear that music?
Yeah, I can hear it.
You ready?
Yeah, I can hear everything clear. We're good.
You could drop a 16 on that. How you doing, man?
What's going on? Chilling, man. Chilling. Just waking up. Another day. Shelter in place. Can't go outside, unfortunately. But hey, what are we gonna do, huh? What are we gonna do?
How are you taking the shelter in place?
I'm taking it serious, man. I'm one of those where I'm high risk, unfortunately, because my immune system is how do you say? I take medication that suppresses my immune system. So if I go outside and I walk by near somebody who has the virus, I can get it real fast. So
I see.
I'm just staying indoors. I don't go outside unless I absolutely have to, say to go pick up my medication or go to 7-Eleven to go get a coffee.
Yeah, you love your coffee.
But I mean, yeah. Gotta have it, bro. Gotta have it. As a matter of fact, after this, I'm gonna go get it.
Oh.
But yeah, dude, I'm just taking it serious. Just accepting reality. This is the world we live in today, and I just gotta be safe.
Yeah,
gotta play it safe, bro.
It's pretty crazy. And so I want to go back a little bit as far as a timeline. So the way I know Frankie, and actually you could probably say this better because I can't recall very well, but I think it was through Ill, or who was it that introduced me to you?
It was Angel. Angel. And then Will. And then
That's
Will.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn. How do you even know those guys, by the way?
Well, I grew up with Angel. I've known Angel pretty much my whole life. Yeah, I grew up with Checkers.
Okay.
Yeah, I've known Angel since I was like 5 or 6 years old, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, he's pretty much my brother. And Will, I met Will, at Independence.
Okay.
Yeah, so I met Will. I think, he's a year. Well, I think he was a year above me. So I think my freshman year is when I met him. He was a sophomore, and then we kind of hung out with the same people, and then we just went from there. But yeah, I met Will at Independence. Yeah. I've known Angel pretty much my whole life.
And you still talk to Angel or Will?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm still very close to both. I talk to Will on a daily basis, bro. We're always like sending stupid shit on Instagram, bro. It's hilarious.
Oh wow!
And as a matter of fact, I have a gaming club, and he just joined us maybe a month ago. A couple months ago,
okay.
So. Yeah. He's a part of the clique now, playing video games with us.
Dope.
Yeah.
So how did that happen in the beginning? Like, who was it? So Angel was like, "Bro, you spit some fire. I need you to come through to this studio."
No, actually, I remember every part about it. It's funny because he picked me up in Checkers, and this is when he was like the only one that had a car at the time. Everybody else was still fucking walking.
Yeah, I remember.
But he picked me up, and next he popped a CD in his his car.
Yeah.
And then I hear the track that you guys made, and I'm like, who's this? That's me. And I'm like, first of all, where's this at? What studio are you going to? Like, you gotta fill me in. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And now he just told me about it. He told me, Will, we went to Will's cousin's house.
Yeah.
Sammy, he's got a little studio. And we just did it there. And I'm like, dude, you got to take me. Like, I'm trying to get up in this too. And graciously enough, he took me. I think it was the next day, as a matter of fact. He took me to your house when he had that small little room, and he had that small little get up with the Fruity Loops.
Oh yeah. Was this this by San Antonio? The house in San Antonio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, San Antonio. Like if you're going towards Cesar Chavez,
yeah,
that little corner house.
Yeah. That was a spot.
So that was a spot. So I remember just walking in, and you were sitting down, and you were like mixing mastering one of the songs you guys had made.
Damn.
And we got introduced, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's hella funny. What do you remember from that setup? Because I forget if it was in the closet where I had my setup. I think.
Yeah. He had it was a small narrow closet. I don't know how you did it. I don't even know how my fat ass got in there, but I squeezed my ass in there, and yeah, it was cool. It was a nice little setup he had. You had
Uh,
the I guess like noise foam.
oh
And
yeah,
you had
yeah.
and you had the exactly, and you had the stand with the mic right there, like right towards the center, and there was a light in there, so you just close the door and you just spit your verse. And then
Man,
you had a little computer set up on the side, and you had your bed. It was a small room, granted, but we made
yeah.
it work, or you made it work for that matter. So yeah, genius, bro. You're a
What
genius.
what
You
was
were a
the
genius, man.
what was the first song that you remember recording with us?
Damn. I think it was that one track. Fucking my bad for cussing.
It's all good, bro.
That one. I forget the name of it, but I had that verse with the Julio Cesar Chavez. Knocking dudes
Mm.
out like Julio Cesar
Oh
Chavez,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
I
yeah.
forget the rest of it. So I forget the name of it, dude. But that was the first song,
You still have that song?
and no, I don't. I don't. You know what? I had a CD, and I kept it for like a few years, and then I lost I had a collection of CDs, and that was one of them, and I just lost it. Oh, actually, no. I got my somebody broke into my car, and they took my system and my CDs, and
Oh man.
unfortunately, the CD was in there. Yeah. So whoever has it,
I think
enjoy it.
I think
But
I might have some tracks that I'm gonna try to find, see what we got. But there's a lot of dope music that we used to make together. So a lot of good
absolutely,
memories.
absolutely, a lot
And
of good memories, dude.
how did you even start with rapping? Like how did that even come into play with with your life?
Um, like music has always been, well, not in terms of like me trying to become a rapper or anything like that, but I mean, living in Checkers, everybody was exposed to, Tupac, Bone Thugs and Harmony, all these,
Yeah.
Mac Dre and all these artists. And I remember
Mm.
back in the day, some of the older homies they used to just, circle up like in a powwow, like the
Yeah.
Indians do it, and just start busting flows.
Yeah.
They'd be passing a blunt, smoking and, drinking or what have you. And they would just start, freestyling. And that was my first, time I ever got exposed to anything like that.
Yeah.
And my cousin Delfino, who's like an older brother to me, he would partake in these these freestyle sessions, and I wanted to be like him. So
Mm.
that's where I got the idea, or of freestyling, and then I started to do it, or at least attempt to do the freestyle, and I was just completely trash. But some of these guys were really good.
Yeah.
They were as good, or maybe a little less than like Daniel. To me, Daniel's probably the best freestyle, individual that I know that could just keep going and not stop. He just has material coming out, just churning out of his mind.
You're talking about Ill, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Daniel.
I'm like,
Yeah, my bad.
I'm like, I don't remember him by Daniel. I know him by Ill.
I know. Yeah, it's funny because we'll save that for somewhere down the line. But
Yeah.
but back to the first time I got exposed to music and freestyling was just that. Back in the days growing up in Checkers, the older homies used to circle around, pass the blunt or a drink or whatever, and they would just freestyle
Yeah.
over a beat. And so that pretty much piqued my interest, and ever since then, it's just been a love and a fascination with music and
Yeah.
rap, for that matter.
And,
Yeah,
and also, how did you come up with Young Major? Because I know that was your rap name.
man. I remember growing up. One of my favorite movies was Major Payne with Marlon
Ah,
Wayans,
yeah,
and so and at that time, it was kind of just like, I don't know, it just kind of just came out. I remember
Yeah.
we were sitting down and we were thinking of names.
yeah,
And at that time, every rapper was using like the young, young,
yeah,
young Jeezy or
Yeah.
young something, right?
yeah,
I figured I just, follow along with that. I really didn't have much originality, but I'm like, you know what, young and then major, like Major Payne, young major,
yeah.
so I kind of went with that. It was really not much of a thought process. It was kind of just like slinging stuff at the wall. So that's pretty much how that happened.
I think that's how most of those things happen, right? Like people are not thinking about it for months. Like, oh, what should be my rap name? I think it just happens.
Yeah, it was just pretty much like my first try, and then you guys said, yeah, it actually works out, and I just ran with it, and that's been me ever since.
That's so funny.
Young Major, yeah, absolutely, dude. Good times.
What about so you're talking about Ill. So you said
Yeah.
you used to kick it with Angel and Ill, or was it just Angel?
Well, Angel's pretty much like my brother, so he's always around. I've known him pretty much my whole life. Daniel, I met at Independence as well.
Mhm.
I think the same time as Will.
Mm.
And so, remember Octavio,
Octavio sounds familiar.
the one that had the Nova, the one I used to hang around with. You probably got to see his face to recognize
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he's
I
another
see
one
him.
that I grew up with. So Octavio used to kick it with Emmanuel, David, and the people that Daniel's boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the beginning, my freshman year, I was kicking it with the homies from Checkers.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much everybody I grew up with, and I didn't know anybody at Independence at the time, except some of the people that I went to, Shepherd, and some people that I knew along the way. And then towards the end of the year, my freshman year, I started kicking it with Octavio and Manuel and David and Daniel. I mean, there's Big Daniel and Little Daniel.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Oh no,
that.
David. Should I say no? David.
Oh, okay.
My bad. It was David.
Yeah.
So and then Daniel, and that's how I met Daniel, and it was cool. We just kicked it off right there. We were like minded. You know what I mean? Because Daniel's hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he knew we were hood as well.
Yeah.
Even though he kicked it with his friends that were kind of like rockers.
Yeah.
And this was before Will made his transition from being a fucking rocker to
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, yeah.
When Will had the long hair.
Definitely remember that.
Yeah, it's so funny. I still remember that transition too. One day Will had long ass hair, fucking with his Dickies tuxedo, and the next day he was all faded up.
Yeah.
Comes with the Michael Vick jersey,
Yeah.
the Michael Vick shoes, and it was just fucking fake from there on out, bro.
But it's funny because I feel like we go through some phases like that, because I was into rock a lot too growing up, and I used to listen to like a lot of Mexican music too, and then like freaking all kinds of stuff, house and electronic, whatever, and and then I definitely landed on hip hop for sure.
Yeah, no, I was in that same transition as well. I was exposed to all types of music, oldies, high energy, freestyle and all that stuff. Yep. And so, yeah, of course, and then eventually, we kind of just settled on hip hop.
Yeah.
And then we just ran with it. But yeah, like I was saying, Will, when he made that transition, I was like, what did you do? You just went inside some sort of machine and just like rocked you back and forth, and you just came out with a new style. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? But it's cool though, you know what I mean? But it worked out. It worked out for him. And Fig is just he's a unique individual, man. I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
we still talk today. But no, back like with Daniel. Yeah. So when I first met him, we kind of just, hit it off pretty cool. He figured we were hood and we were like-minded and kind of like the same people. And it was cool. And just went off from there. And we would like go and kick it and hang out. And this is when they used to live over there in the trailer park. I forget what it was called. And then we would go and visit and hang out, and it was cool, and then we just became friends from there.
Yeah, that's interesting how all that happens. What do you think about memories from the MoSkillz days? Is there anything that like some stories that are memorable to you that like you want to tell everyone?
Oh man, those long nights at that studio, bro. We pull all-nighters, all-nighters, just working on one track. You know what I mean? We just wanted to be in the studio. Yeah. And I remember your dad had that. He had that. What is it? He had his own print shop, right? He had that print machine and everything. And then you guys you built that studio like in the far left corner of the warehouse. Yeah. Exactly. I remember all that, and I remember just walking in, and I was like, it was very intimidating because first of all, it didn't look like there was a studio in there. It looked like a chop shop. It felt like a chop shop.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, what is going on? Like, where are you taking us, freaking Sammy? Like, where are we going? Oh, it's in here. Don't even trip. I felt like we were going to the slaughter at first. I was like, oh shit. And then we go in, and I see the print machine that your dad had was impressive. And just the whole getup. I was like, oh shit, and then we go inside the studio, and it was a nice little setup. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And this was, a lot better than, how we started inside your room. Oh, yeah. Although that was okay as well. We could have done a lot of, work inside that little room as well. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. You guys, it was a nice little setup. Had that little room. You guys had, you had everything set up. You had the system right behind the window. And then that wall where you let everybody hit up. You let everybody. Oh, yeah. That was a dope wall. Yeah, so it was nice, bro. It was unique, and I remember just those long nights, just working on a couple of tracks, and just we're doing our thing in there, and then we're all sweating. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we come out.
Yeah, because there was no AC or anything like that.
Absolutely, dude. It was just, we didn't mind it. It was hot in there, but we didn't mind. We were just just grinding and getting to work.
Yeah, there's times that we literally would be up damn near the whole freaking day and night, just in the morning too, just. Writing and recording and writing and recording. Like sometimes I feel like we never even came out that place.
No, for sure. We would definitely push it to the limit. I remember one time we went in like at 8:30 8:30, at night, and we didn't leave until like 9:30, 10 o'clock the following day.
Oh shit!
I was all petrified, you know what I mean? Walking out, like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, my eyes hurt. I couldn't even drive because of everything that was going on in there, dog. We were just pushing it to the limit.
And it's even crazier because that place didn't have windows, so you would lose the track of time, you know?
Oh, for sure. It was like, absolutely. It was kind of like, you ever watch that movie with, what is it? With Matt Damon, where they go out into space and they land on the planet, and every second they spend on that planet is like a full day or like a whole year or some shit. I forget the name of it.
Are you talking about the astronaut one?
Yeah.
Martian or something like that?
I'm not sure. I forget the name of it, but you know which movie I'm talking about, right? They land on the planet, and every like a second or like a minute on that planet is equals to like a year, like on planet Earth or like anywhere else.
Something like that. Yeah.
Time is warped. Yeah, time is warped there. Oh. You know what I mean? And that's how it felt. Like you were in there for like an hour, and then it's already the next day. Like, what is going on here? The sun is up. Shit, I'm about to go home. Yeah. I need to go home.
Yeah.
but that's how dedicated we were. We just wanted to be in there and just come out with as many tracks as we could. And we just wanted to release it to the world. Those were the MySpace days, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I remember those
days. Damn.
Yeah. So we were just working, bro. We were just a group of kids, just hard workers, and getting to it, man.
I remember that.
Beautiful thing.
I remember that we would try to do these chopped and screwed versions of our songs. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
I think Angel was in one of them.
I think so. Yeah, Angel was there for maybe in the beginning.
Yeah.
Remember that one? I think the first time I did anything with MoSkillz was at that little concert we had in Fremont. Remember that?
And Fremont. Which one was this?
Remember Turtle, the whatever he was like a manager, or he was like trying to manage us, or whatever the hell. And his sister Angie. Yeah. Remember when they made us sign these like phony ass contracts in the beginning? Like what? Okay, whatever. Just made us feel like it was more official.
Yeah.
But we had, and then I think that very same day we went shopping. Right, we all went shopping to go buy a pig because we were going to do a show at that little bar in Fremont.
Okay.
And you don't remember that?
What part was this?
This was like in the very beginning, bro. Very beginning. This was before I even jumped on the track.
Yeah, that's crazy. But, I don't think I remember that too well.
Yeah, shit, I do. So we go to Fremont. We go to this little bar, and and you guys perform like the tracks that you guys did. This is before I even jumped on any kind of track.
Yeah.
So, although you guys accepted me into the group, I still hadn't done anything. So I was kind of more of like a hype man.
Okay.
And I was like pretty much dancing like in the background, getting the crowd hyped.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy, the bar owner, had a black light like towards the back end of the stage. It was a small little stage, and I remember I had a black sweater on and a black shirt under.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I was getting hot, so I took off the sweater and I go under the black light, and Jesus Christ, my black shirt was pretty much like all white because it was nothing but lint on it, bro. It was embarrassing.
Oh, you know what? I kind of do remember that for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a long time ago, bro. I have a pretty good memory, but I remember. This is the only reason why I remember that is because how embarrassed I was because that black light was pretty much exposing my black shirt. Hella lint on it, bro. There was so much lint. And I remember going to the bartender. I was like, dude, do you have any tape or anything sticky so I can take all this lint off?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, dude, you're pretty much on your own. So I was like, fuck it. I go up there and I'm just rocking, rocking back and forth, fucking dancing or whatever. You know what I mean? Just acting a fool. And it worked out in the end, but
that's hilarious.
I remember that black light was making me look bad, bro.
Wow. Well, do you remember if there was a lot of people there that came to see us? I can't remember if it was like a big crowd.
Yeah, there was like a handful. People that we knew. It was mostly people that we knew.
Yeah.
And it was like a group of people, maybe like 10 or 15. I mean,
nice little.
It was like a small little group. Yeah, it was a small little little place anyway, and it was cool, because I think eventually, when we started doing like even bigger shows.
Yeah.
Remember when we went to what was that one Mexican American Met Chow or
Are you talking about
downtown?
Because I feel like we went to a school, didn't we perform at a school too?
Oh no, San Jose State. I remember we we went to San Jose State.
This is when we had a manager, right?
Yeah, this was Araceli.
Yeah,
So
Araceli, yeah.
Araceli got us hooked up with that. So
Damn.
yeah, so it was at San Jose State, but it wasn't in front of like a bunch of college kids. It was just a bunch of like high school kids that were, going to make the transition to college. And
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how she did it
I know,
or why
right?
we even got picked,
Yeah.
but we agreed to it. We're like, yeah, well, let's do it. And we couldn't cuss.
Yeah.
Remember that? We couldn't
Oh
cuss.
man.
So that was an issue because,
Yeah.
we're a bunch of kids from the east side that talk like pirates.
Yeah.
So we had to make it work. So I remember going over there and we're like, oh shit. And there was a lot of kids. I remember it was like, the auditorium style classes.
Yeah. Once I go
and
up.
yeah, so there was at least 30, 40, maybe even 50 kids. And we all walk in there and then we're like, they play the song, I think that one song we were talking about with the Julio Cesar Chavez verse.
Oh yeah.
I forget the name of it. Yeah, and then we all, like, every single time we had a cuss word, we would pause and not say anything, and then pick up with another, verse that had no cussing on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because, like, my recollection of it is that we pretty much stayed quiet for the majority of the song because the majority of the song was nothing but cussing. You know what I'm saying?
It was
we
like
were just moving back and forth,
moment of
just
silence.
grooving in front of a bunch of kids. That was hilarious, bro.
I think that was a
was
challenge
cool.
too, because we've never really done that, right? That, like, not to cuss or something like that.
No, absolutely no. We grew very fast. You know what I mean? Like, we were on the fast track to wherever we were going.
To stardom.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that was the goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the goal. And you never know, bro. If we all would have stayed together and would have stuck it out, we probably would have, because I thought we were getting some good traction.
That's what I always think about, that if we would have stuck together and kept doing it, I'm pretty sure, because even to this day, I always get people hitting me up like, when is MoSkillz going to do new music? And, like, it's been like how many years already, and people still bringing that up to my attention?
Yeah, like about 15 years.
You know what I mean?
14, 15 years. Yeah,
it's crazy.
For sure. Because, we started like in 2005, right?
Yeah.
2005, 2006, and then I left the group in 2007. Not because of like any kind of feuds or anything like that. It's just because I started working full time, and I hooked up with my ex at that time. Completely fell in love, and I was like, and I kind of dedicated all my time to that. I don't regret it, but I'm just saying, an alternative universe. If I would have stayed with the group, we probably would have. We could have done something.
Frankie.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. Bro. I bailed on you guys. What am I? It's a regret. It's a regret.
I really thought you're hella dope. Like, cause I could see the improvements every time that you were in the studio. I could always see that you were getting better at delivering and writing, and because everybody I saw come in, obviously I'm the guy that's there all the time, but I see the progression with every artist that came in. So it was pretty dope to see everybody kind of grow in their own pace.
No, absolutely. No, we all grew. We all grew leaps and bounds. You know, and it was a unique situation because we were all young.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were the brainchild behind it all. You already had this, the knowledge to mix and master and how to navigate, these systems, the Fruity Loops, and all these other things. So you're the genius. You're the reason why it all worked.
Yeah.
You put everything together and you made us look good. You know what I mean? So thanks to you, you're pretty much the reason why we were on that track. You know what I mean? So we would just go in there and I would just write and I would just pretty much, deliver, do my part. And that was it.
Yeah.
Very small part, but I was proud of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I felt like I was contributing to the group and contributing to something bigger, and for sure, man, like, you always made us feel, like a part of the group. You always showed love and consistency to this day. That's why, man, I have so much respect for you.
Thanks, man.
Like, you had no idea who I was. And as soon as I stepped into your room, it was just instant. Yeah, man, let's get to work.
I know.
Just it was just love and respect and duty. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
for sure. You're one of the more genuine individuals that I know. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
Likewise,
and it's because of you. And it's because of you. You gave us the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
And man, I'll forever be grateful. Forever be grateful for that. So definitely, man.
I always look at it. I always look back at those times, and I myself am grateful too, because I was able to have those experiences with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, who knows, like, where our lives could have been if we never crossed paths and all that. But I always look back at it like I laugh and I smile at those kind of moments, or like we're able to get in the room and create something, something original,
Yeah,
something that came from our hearts or wherever.
yeah, for sure, man. It was very unique and it was fun, dude. It was
I
quite
mean,
the experience.
I mean, how many people could say that they did that? You know what I mean? I mean, of course, everybody has their own goals and aspirations, but I
Yeah,
mean, there's a very few that maybe had that dream, but never had the guts to get a mic or something and just see where that goes. You know?
exactly. I think about this. I was like, man, what if we would have done what we did back then in today's landscape? With
Yeah,
social media and
yeah,
all these tools that we could have utilized at that time. And then our time was like the beginning of social media, with MySpace.
yeah,
But you really didn't have you didn't have SoundCloud, you didn't have all these types of these media outlets to push your music out there. You just had like MySpace.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then making CDs and slanging them out the back of your trunk.
yeah,
So I think about it as, man, in today's landscape, we probably would have pushed our product even faster. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And we
Well,
would have caught on pretty quick.
I mean, I also think that it goes with the times. Like even the people before us, like how did they do it? I mean, it's
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's almost not the same, but different times calls for different measures. And I mean,
Absolutely,
before
for sure.
obviously before us, before MySpace, I'm pretty sure people would do a lot more of the street hustle, the passing this
Yeah, yeah,
CDs and flyers versus our time. Of course, we did that too, but there was
yeah,
more.
for sure.
There was a little easier transition as far as like getting the music to people because we had the MySpace, plays, and
Yeah.
you remember that? I think there's another website called Lime Links or something like that, where people would download it and it would tell you how many downloads it would have, or
Oh, yeah, yeah,
statistics.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, I totally forgot about that. Jesus.
yeah. I think and a few. I think there might have been a few other ones, but that was like the one of the popular ones that
Yeah, yeah.
people would
Everybody
show.
went to.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Instagram of music because people would see how many downloads you have and like, oh, this guy's really popping because he has a lot of downloads.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
yeah. I
pretty
remember that
funny.
now. I do remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, for sure. No, but in today's landscape, there's just a lot more tools. But definitely, and we definitely had that hustle aspect as well. I remember when we did that New Year's show.
Oh
Funny
yeah,
that.
yeah. I cannot forget.
And then we had just, they gave us a box of flyers and they just said pass them out.
Yeah, I think
And then as soon as
uh-huh.
as soon as they gave us the flyers, I remember we just drove everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere. We were just flinging them out the window. Hey, here you go, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they gave us like 1,500 flyers,
Yeah.
and we knocked them out like in 30 minutes.
I think
You know,
that was a pretty decent turnout on that show, the New Year's.
yeah, we had about maybe like 50, well, maybe more than that. I think we had over 100 people.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, at least.
Well, because we
But
also had the other artists, so I'm pretty sure they brought their own people
yeah,
too.
they brought exactly. So they
Yeah.
brought people over.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a few of us. I think it was us, and then it was like Two
Metal
Left
Mouth,
Feet and
right?
some of the guys from Metal Mouth,
Yeah,
exactly.
Metal Mouth.
And they brought some people over, and so our crowd was pretty decent. We had a pretty good crowd. We had like 25 people come out,
Yeah.
mostly friends. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I know.
and then I got my ex at the time to bring some of her friends over, so she brought some people.
Yeah.
And then Metal Mouth, they brought their group, and it was a good little turnout. We rocked the stage because I remember we were the first ones to go up there, bro. And then some of the dudes from Metal Mouth just started rocking with us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. That was
Hey.
was like the turning point.
You
know what I
gotta
mean?
you gotta love those shirts though that we had. Remember the
Hey,
custom made ones?
Yeah, those are dope. Dude, I still got a picture. I got a few pictures.
I think I have
And
some
as a matter
too.
of fact, I'll definitely share them with you. But yeah, I remember those shirts. Those shirts were badass, and they were made like with pastel, right?
Yeah, like some kind of paint and then like a picture of us or something like that. I forget what it was.
Yeah, it said MoSkillz, and there was like a spine, like right down the middle.
Yeah.
But definitely it was a.
I'm actually gonna show a few of those videos and these reaction videos I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of clips, bro. I got tons of clips. So of course I'm not gonna put anything too embarrassing, but I'm gonna try
It's all
to.
good, man. Yeah, you've got my permission to put whatever. Well, at least in terms of like me, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, yeah.
You can post whatever you want for me. I ain't tripping.
There's some
But
things I'm just like, wow, I don't know.
damn, bro. Well, I'll tell you what, dude, we were just having fun. We were in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
moment,
I know.
young and
Well,
young. You know what I'm
there's a
saying, and doing our
clip
thing.
there's a clip though that I have that I think it's on this episode I'm gonna release on Monday. It's about the New Year's performance, and I think I'm panning across the room and I see Ill and I see you making out with somebody. I'm not sure who it
Oh
is.
Jesus! Oh, it's my ex. Got
Yeah,
to be my ex.
don't worry, I didn't. Don't worry, I didn't put that in there.
I
But
didn't make out with anybody else that night. All right, Sammy. There's nobody else that night.
I wouldn't
No,
know
but,
who that was because I can't remember who that. But
no, I was probably my ex.
it was.
I was probably my ex. I'm not gonna say her name, but yeah, no, for sure. I'm monogamous. You know what I mean? There was nobody else. At least I don't think so. But I tell you what, dude, we were walking around. Remember that the VIP lounge that we had before we went out, and there was a bunch of alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and bro, we were hella young. Were hella young.
Was that the red
we were
room?
Like, yeah, the red room.
Yeah.
This
I
is
remember.
where Ill and I forget that other guy from Metal Mouth. Guillotine, I think.
Yeah.
Where they had like a little battle. They had like some little beef or some shit.
Yeah, no, they were.
I mean?
Ill. He's always been that freestyle dude. Like he could out freestyle anybody. So
that's why I love Ill, because he's competitive. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what, like let's do it, like right here or right now. If you think you're better than me, let's fucking rock and roll. Let's get this show on the road. I'm like, that's my nigga right there. You know what I mean? Like unafraid because he's confident. You know what I mean? And that confidence, we felt that. You know what I mean? Like as soon as we.
Go ahead.
Like as soon as we brought like Daniel into the group, he instantly made us get on our job. You know what I mean? He made us better,
man.
Because he was.
Every time I'd hear this fucking guy freestyle, man, I was like, man, this guy is dope. Like I honestly know, I still know. Like I'm not even saying that I think he was. I still know that it was probably one of the best freestylers that I've ever met. And
absolutely,
he proved that. Even the first time I met him, he came through the studio and like, I forget who brought him in, but someone was like, check him out.
I'm the one who brought him in.
Oh, you brought him in. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I brought him in. I brought him in.
And I still remember that he got in the booth or something, or he started freestyling or something like that. And I'm just like, damn, this guy's dope. Like, because I wouldn't say that about anybody. I'd be like, all right, he has potential, or he doesn't. But this guy was like, right away, bam, knocking shit down. No,
absolutely. After Angel left the group, I couldn't think of anybody better. I was like, you know what? I was like, we were missing that link, because we were 4 in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then when Angel left, it was 3 of us, and I was like, I was like, right off the bat, he was the first person that I thought about. I was like, he can definitely, he needs to be here. You know what I mean? If I look at, there's anybody that deserves, to be in the studio making music, it's Daniel. And I remember Daniel talking about how, he'd go to these studios and all these people were like, yeah, I'll put you on the track, or I'll give you studio time. And it was nothing but broken promises.
Really?
And
wow. That's interesting.
He's like,
I would
he
have
was
never
very
thought.
reluctant. Yeah, in the beginning, it's because I think there was a bunch of haters or a bunch of dudes that had something against, or just
maybe because they knew that he was dope.
Exactly, you know what I mean. And so they were using him, or just kind of playing him, and he was very reluctant to come because he thought I was just another one of those guys.
Yeah,
he's like, bro, you know how many times people have told me they're gonna take me to a studio and and have me go on the track, and I was like, bro, look, I know we just we don't have much, you don't know me as well, you know what I mean, but just give me an opportunity, and let me take you to my boy's house, Sammy, and just check it out. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything
at that point.
Yeah, this is in your room. This is in your room.
Oh, I thought it was the studio at the warehouse at this time.
And eventually it was after. It was like in the beginning, like when you were transitioning from your room to that studio.
Okay.
And I remember I took him to that corner house, and then I introduced him to you guys, and we already knew who he was. So Will was like, oh, hell yeah, let's do this. And so, and then I forget which track we did. Oh, I'm from the Bay.
Oh,
I'm from the Bay. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was
and
good.
So, and then from there, from the room, we transitioned to the studio at your dad's warehouse.
Yeah.
And then we finished it off over there. But let me backtrack to when I first, when I first thought of the idea to bring him into the studio and into the group.
Yeah.
I spoke to him about it, and he was like, "All right, bro." He's like, "If you're serious about it, just come pick me up." And I'm over here flicking your part.
Yeah.
This is when I had that Lexus, remember?
Yeah. That was
95 ES300.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was a clean ride.
I remember. That's fucking. I missed that car. There's a lot of memories, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of memories in that car.
I think I even drove your ass once because everybody was drunk once.
No, I drove your ass to Fremont. Remember that? You go see your little lady friend over there. Bro, I've got so many stories that we can't share on here, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we'll save for that when we see each other. Yeah, exactly. We got so many stories, brother. But like I was saying, so I went to go pick him up. Yeah. I went to Flickinger, and he was surprised because he didn't think I was going to come. He thought I was just, bullshitting.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's go, man. I remember I was riding with Gabriel. No, not Gabriel. Who was I riding with? I think it was solo. My bad. I was always riding with somebody. So I pick him up. And I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. And he was like, oh, shit, you got here pretty quick. I was like, I was right down the street, bro. I was talking on the phone. So I pick him up, and then I'm just explaining to him, what the deal is. I was like, yeah, so my boy Sammy, he's got a little studio, and we just knocked out a track. And, Angel just left the group, and so we feel like we need a fourth, and I can't think of anybody better than you. And so while we were driving over there, we go inside your room and I introduce you to Daniel, I think. And yeah, I was like, all right. And the same thing, the same energy and love that you gave me, the same energy and love you gave to Daniel. And like, all right, let's get to work. It was like, oh, for sure. But it was like, let's get to work.
Yeah.
Let's do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's make something special.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, definitely, bro. So we started there in your room, I think. And then this is before you even told us that you had a freaking studio building in your dad's warehouse. I think Will knew, well, of course, because he's your cousin, but you didn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
And I remember you're like, meet me over here. Meet me on somewhere in the north side. I forget. What was the by UGMX?
Yeah, we're by 10th Street.
Yeah, so you tell me to go there, and I'm like, what's over there? You're like, a studio. And I was like, what? Okay. So I go over there, and I drive, and I'm like, it's hella sketchy for once because your dad's warehouse was like way toward the back.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
By the railroad tracks.
Exactly. So I'm like, where am I going? You know what I'm saying? Hella sketchy, bro. Hella sketchy. Yeah. I'll make a right. And I make a right. This was back in the days when we had those Nokia phones, those big old blue ones.
Yeah.
And so I see you just like hopping. You're like, hey, over here, bro. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, what?
Come out of nowhere.
There's a studio in there? Or is there like fucking a sex trafficking ring? What is going on in here? You know what I'm saying? What is going on? So you're like, no, we got a studio in the back. This is my dad's print shop. But just follow me or whatever. So we go in there and then we go. First of all, the studio was like way in the back, so we couldn't see anything. We just saw the big green machine that your dad had. Then you're explaining everything, and then you took us over there to the backside, and it didn't look like much. It was just like a white door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as soon as you opened it, that's when you saw the magic. You're like, oh damn.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah. Well, me and my dad built it, so he helped me, do there was like that little room before you go to the studio. Because we were staying there for a while, so he made a little room so I could put my bed in there, and then I literally lived in the studio. That was the thing right there. So I had the studio right next to that.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, so did we.
I know,
we were there almost every day.
Yeah.
Working on something. Or even if we weren't doing shit, we were just in there, bro.
Yeah.
We were just in there watching the videos. Remember the freestyle videos we used to watch?
Oh, man, I used to love watching all that freestyle shit.
Yeah, so it was just like, it was a studio, but it was also like our headquarters. It was a
little kick it.
Where we could just hang out and just wait for something to pop, and then boom.
Yeah.
It was like the Bat Cave. It was like, Batman's freaking
because even like you said, even if we weren't recording, sometimes we would just kick it and like talk or like watch freestyle videos or whatever.
Or we if we had some girls, you know what I mean, and we needed a spot to go and bang bang, you know what I'm saying,
bang boogie.
We go in there. That was everything, bro. That studio was everything, man. Good time, absolutely.
That's dope. Well, there's other things I've noticed on your IG, and I know you obviously we love comedy, and I think that's something that's important in these times too, to not take things too serious. I mean, serious enough, but still laugh and enjoy
Yeah,
your times.
yeah. You've got to have that lighter side of life, And
Yeah,
I know reality right now and what we're going through with the virus and what have you, and all these new realities is kind of scary. But you've got to find time to find your sanity.
yeah,
And definitely, comedy does that for me. Like for everybody. And
yeah,
I would suggest everybody just to kind of just turn off the TV or don't even look at the news.
yeah,
Because all the news is doing is just putting more fear in your mind. Yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of people dying, but there's also a lot of people that are surviving this thing.
yeah,
And I feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel. It may not seem like it now, but I mean, eventually, just like any other disaster, we just got to roll with the flows.
yeah,
But I suggest everybody just to find something, find peace.
yeah.
And we find peace in comedy.
Mhm. What are
But,
one of your favorite movies you like to watch when you want to get a good laugh?
oh man, I'll watch like Snatch. What is it? The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah,
The Friday movies.
classic.
The Friday movies. What
Yeah.
else? Yeah, I'll even watch like some Medea movies.
What
But
what about which ones are your favorite gangster movies? I know you have a few.
favorite gangster movies? Just honestly, the good. I like the Godfather.
Yeah,
The Godfather. All Godfather movies. I'm not really big on Scarface. I'll watch it, but it's like to me, it's kind of corny.
yeah. The cliche gangster.
American Me, Blood In Blood Out. Love that movie. I can watch the movie every day. You know what I mean?
Which ones are your favorite lines or scenes from Blood and Blood Out?
Oh yeah, narco. Heard you like busting dope dealers. There's a deal going down by Zodi and Whittier. It'll be in the 6 o'clock news. Oh yeah, pendejo. I'm in my lunch.
Oh
Fucking.
man, I
What on
love
the
that movie too.
bonafide? What on the bonafide? That's a fucking fine comb you got there. Should give it to one of my bitches. No.
Oh man, you got it straight on right there.
I've watched that movie so many times. I know all of Popeye's lines, bro.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I like when I forget I think it was Miklo. He says, "Get up, Chucky," or what was it the other his brother?
Get up, Chucky. Get up, Chucky.
Remember
Fuck with my familia.
Yeah.
We got a song. Toto right here, right
Yeah.
now.
No, he's calling his homie Chucky to get up. He wasn't calling him
Yeah,
out.
because he was.
Yeah.
No, I know that. No, I know that. Chucky was hiding behind that car with a shotgun.
With the shotty.
And as soon as he tells him to get up, he pops up. He pops right back up with that shotty.
I don't know
and he
why.
cocks it.
Yeah, I don't know why that's one of my favorite scenes. Just because he gets up and like cocks it, like, wow, what's up?
You know what I mean? Because that's how it is, bro. That's the east side.
Yeah.
That's how we were. Like, when we were gonna get into some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You always had a homie. You know what I mean? You'd be like, hey, just stay right there.
Yeah.
Stay right there, bro. When I call you out, pop out, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it was the element of surprise.
Yeah.
It was the element of surprise that fucking threw everybody off.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, living in Checkers, that's how it was.
Mm-hmm.
I remember some of the older homies when some of the rival gangs used to come
Mm-hmm.
through the hood and they used to try to blast on us, and they would have like a little how do you say like a code red.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, this happens. You're gonna hide behind those bushes. You're gonna climb up that tree. You know what I mean? And we're gonna make it seem like we're like outnumbered.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna draw these guys in. They're gonna feel confident enough to try to go inside the Checkers.
And
They
that's
would
when you
always
get
just
'em.
stay. Yeah, they would always just like kind of like talk shit from the street.
Yeah.
They would never come into the apartment complex because it was like a maze.
Yeah.
You go in there, you're gonna get lost. You know what I mean? And so sometimes they would get brave enough. Depending on the numbers, if the numbers were in their favor, they would get out the car and they would start chasing dudes. And right off the bat, everybody else would come and swarm in and, rip skin off booty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would see it was the element of surprise.
Yeah. I mean, you had the squad too, so I mean,
yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? And so we relate so much to that movie because it mimics the Chicano experience.
Yeah.
That's why we love that movie because we see us and them.
Yeah.
And their experience, not necessarily, step by step or in every way, but, in terms of, the gang life, we grew up on the east side. We got exposed to these things early on at an early age.
Yeah.
And we were no stranger to these kinds of, gang activity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got exposed to drugs. I got exposed to all this at a very young age, living in Checkers.
Mm-hmm. East side. I mean, I think anywhere in the east side, if you're in the east, like you're gonna run into it sooner or later. That life.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's hard. It's hard to raise a family in the east side, especially when you have all these distractions around. And my mom is, she's she's Christian. She's very, 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 very old school. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
my mom's an honest person, and she taught me to be a good, all of my of my being is because of my mom. My mom taught me how to be a man because my father passed away before I was born,
Mm.
and so my mom pretty much had to raise me and four of my sisters. So she was a single mother, widowed, living
Yeah.
in Checkers. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
coping my father's death.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like, it was hard for her. We were all growing up at the same time, and it was hard for my mother to raise us, and so a little bit of my education and a little bit of, the streets raised me, my
Yeah.
cousin Delfino and, some of the older homies. And I was always outside. I was always, seeing these things, you know what I mean? And they always showed me love. And to this day, I still talk to everybody I grew up with. And that's the beautiful thing, because even though Checkers was crazy and you had these gangs and all that stuff, there was a lot of love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of love. And I felt like it feels like some of these guys that I grew up with, they feel like cousins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like primos,
Family.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Family that I never had,
Yeah.
and to this day, we still talk to each other. We're close. Not that close, but we like every once in a while we'll hang out or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing that you still talk to some of those old friends that you grew up with.
Hell yeah.
And I still got my day ones, bro. And gracias a Dios, they're still here today. And Angel's one of them. Angel's a day one. I've known him pretty much my whole life. Gabriel,
Yeah.
Tabo, even though I haven't spoken to Tabo in a while, but yeah, I still consider him a day one. And the friends that we made along the way.
Yeah.
Friends, like you, Will, Daniel.
Yeah.
So
A lot of good
definitely
stories.
you want to keep those people. Close. Those that have that genuine positivity and those that had an impact in your life. You always want to keep those people close. You know what I mean? Because they obviously do something to you. Make you a better person or what have you.
Yeah.
And life has a natural way of purging people that that are toxic or people that that really don't do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Although you don't have to try hard because life does that regardless. But yeah. I try to keep my circle small, you know what I mean? That way I don't have to worry about, outside, forces coming in and
Mm-hmm.
bringing negativity and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
The way I figure, the smaller the circle, the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's actually something I've came to understand as I get older is that it's actually better just to have fewer like real friends, not
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we know a lot of people, but we don't have that same relationship with the closer ones that we that we know.
Absolutely. You know the ones that those are your day ones. Those are the ones that you know that you can count on. They'll be there no matter what. You know what I mean? And they're like they're like family.
Yeah.
Friends that became family. And then like you said, bro, when we were young, we just wanted to be cool with everybody. We wanted to know as many people as we can for networking reasons or what have you.
Yeah.
But we're in our 30s now, carnal. We're in our 30s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're a lot older. We're a lot wiser, and we how do you say? We pick and choose what we need in our lives today. You know what I mean? And definitely, but I'll cherish those memories, man. Fucking, those were good times, brother. Those were good times because they helped build us to what we are today.
Yeah.
And they certainly helped, form and shape. Definitely learned about work ethic while we were doing that. You know what I mean? Because I never wanted to work so hard on something ever in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like once we started a project, we just thought about finishing and how we can get better.
Yeah.
And that was like one of my first tastes of work ethic.
Yeah.
To work hard, put the work in, and it doesn't matter how much time it took, but as long as we finished in the end. And I learned from there, adapted, or not adapted, but pretty much inserted that into my life when I started working full time and all these other jobs that I had. You know what I mean? And definitely learned that from the studio.
Yeah.
A lot of positives, man. Took out a lot of positives from there.
That's good, man.
Most definitely.
It's all the life experiences that you need to learn from, right? And also,
absolutely.
Also going back to the roots, I wanted to touch on this. There's a part of my life that it was hard to identify myself as a Mexican living here in the States. How do you embrace your roots in these times, or how would you empower or tell other kids that don't know how to relate to their culture or roots and let them find that, I don't know, connection or something?
Yeah.
It's
Honestly, dude, I love my roots. I love being Chicano. I love being Mexican American, and I always this is my saying. I'm lucky. I was lucky to be born a Mexican. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it all started with after I graduated high school. I took a course, a Mexican American Studies class at Evergreen with Mr. Villarreal. I think he's still there.
Oh, damn.
And then from there, just learning about our culture, learning about our rich culture. You always hear about the Aztecs and how brutal they were, but they never talk about just how brilliant they were. How they built a city on a lake and how they were able to grow agriculture and farm without soil. They would do this by using chinampas, which is basically like a system where they would build these like like these wooden sticks in a grid. It was a wooden grid, and they would just have like fruits and vegetables, grow above that grid, and have the water underneath just fuel the agriculture. Brilliant, and that takes engineering. You know what I mean? And so you never hear about that. You never hear about any of these things. You never hear about
that.
Yeah, absolutely. They were highly advanced civilization. Engineering wise, they would perform brain surgery. You know what I mean? There was a lot of things that they did that are not being said in textbooks or anything like that. And I learned all this through the Mexican American studies course that I took in Evergreen. So
dope.
And look, I've always loved watching soccer. I've always loved watching El Tri and the Mexican national team. And here in my mom's house, bro, it's very Mexican.
Yeah.
Both Mexicanos. Like, even though I'm Chicano, I was born here, but we are very, very Mexican in this house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
And I always say the moment you lose touch with your roots, the moment you try to deny who you are, what you are, you're lost. You know what I mean? Because that's in your blood. That is in your DNA. And when you deny that, you know what I mean, you're denying, vitamins, essential vitamins in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's a part of you. It's what you need. It's what makes you who you are. It's in your DNA. So I just tell those, you know what I mean? Never be ashamed to be who you are. Never be ashamed, of your roots. Never be ashamed of your family. Never be ashamed of anything, because it's part of your genetic makeup. It's a part of who you are, and be proud of that. Now, I can't do that for the other people. Some of the people might be ashamed of, who they are or what they are. That's their deal, and I just pray that they find themselves. Like, you know what, because there's so much beauty in who you are. It doesn't matter if you're, being Mexican. You can be anything you are. You can be Central American, South American, Indian, or what have you. Be proud of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because it's who you are. It is in your essence, and don't deny that, because as soon as you deny that, you are lost. You know what I mean? And you're going to be one of these, how do you say, these Hispanics that, how do you say, I want to say no paludos. They try to they look very Mexican. They're very Mexican, but they don't know how to speak Spanish, and they refuse to speak Spanish because they want to fit in, or they feel the need to fit in, to American society. And it's like, dude, you got to understand that not even, what is an American?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a melting pot.
Yeah.
We're a melting pot of immigrants. You know what I mean? And being an American doesn't mean you have to compromise your roots, or you have to compromise who you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is asked to compromise more than us. You know what I mean? Like, because with the whole border wall with Trump and all this, all these things. It's like, stop speaking Spanish, or I feel like we're getting blamed for everything. Or should I say, like, undocumented immigrants? Those are my people. Yeah. I identify with these people. I have family that are undocumented. So how can I turn my back against them? How can I vote against their interests? You know what I mean? Like, how can I vote against them? Or why would I vote to do them harm? Yeah. When I know, sure, there's a lot of undocumented immigrants that are here, and they're not, there's some bad people, but that doesn't, how do you say, that doesn't make up the majority of the people that are here living honestly, trying to make a living, you know what I mean? And trying to become a citizen or contributing. Nobody ever talks about, the billions of dollars that undocumented immigrants, contribute into taxes. They never tell you that, you know what I mean? Because it's always got to be negative. We've got to make them look like they're abusing the system, not contributing to the system. Yeah. And they are contributing more than they are abusing. You know what I'm saying? And it's, you get all these stupid social terms like welfare queens, or they're over here taking our jobs. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you should
stupid.
worry more about all right, not saying this to be racist or anything like that, or to I guess, to start some shit. But I always say you should be more worried about, the H-1B1, visa card holders, the ones that are coming from like India and other countries that are taking the real jobs here in Silicon Valley. I'm talking about all the engineers, at Google and Apple, you know what I mean, and that are coming here and taking some of these jobs. I'm like, you're worried about an undocumented immigrant who's working at a fast food restaurant or working the fields. What jobs are they taking you are willing to work? You know what I'm saying? What jobs? Tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should be more worried about, the legal immigrants that come here and take the important jobs, engineering. You know what I'm saying? Teachers. You know what I mean? Like, you're starting to see more teachers at schools coming from other countries. They're coming here, on H-1B1 visas and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so those are the jobs. Those are the important jobs that are being taken legally. Should I have? You know what I mean? But I feel like, they fly under the radar, but we get, Hispanics or illegal, immigrants or whatever, undocumented immigrants, should I say, they get the blame because they gotta, put the blame on somebody. They've got to find a scapegoat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, our people are at the forefront of that. We get the full blame. And it's unfortunate, man, because, you've got a lot of hard workers here. A lot of hard workers. They come here. It's a culture of hard work and hard ethic, work ethic.
Yeah.
They want to come here and they want a better life and they want to contribute. And it's like, instead of demonizing these people and blaming them for everything, let's utilize them. They're ready to do their part, and they want to do their part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're working so hard, putting food on our table. You know what I mean? And working even through this quarantine, putting their lives on the line for what, $7.25 an hour?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we need to appreciate them. Yeah. Or learn how to appreciate them instead of just demonizing them and blaming them for everything. And it's like they're being used as like a blame trash can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, let's just pin the blame on them and that's it. And it's unfortunate. It really is. It sucks. I hate it because these are my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got family that worked in the field.
Yeah.
And my mom was, for many years, in that same boat, until she became a citizen. Mm-hmm. She struggled, you know what I mean, to give us a better life. But I've seen it firsthand, you know what I mean? So that's my thing. And there's a lot of people that don't see these things. They don't experience. They don't know what's really going on. They just go along with the propaganda and whatever they're fed.
Yeah.
And it's easy for them. It's easy for them to accept, what they're being told because it's a part of their narrative at the end of the day. They need to find somebody to blame it on.
Yeah.
And we're easy pickings, unfortunately. Yeah, we're easy pickings, unfortunately.
Yeah, because if you think about it too, a lot of our people, they're not that educated on the legal system or what you could possibly say against all these opposition, and it's like, we need to help them.
Yeah, no, it's they don't care because all they want to do is work. Yeah. Their main focus is surviving and providing a better life for their families or sending money back to Mexico so their family can eat.
Yeah,
they come from extreme poverty, bro. Extreme poverty.
Yeah,
so this is why they come. They risk their lives, crossing the border into the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen or if even they're going to find work. You know what I mean? But they do it because they're risking it all just to live a better life, just to get paid $7.25 an hour, bro, because they don't get paid anything in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we willing to do that? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I don't think we have that. We have that work ethic. We're taught that work ethic, but to risk it all like that, it's like we don't need to because we were born here and we got lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But we don't see that. As a matter of fact, my stepbrother, when he first came from Mexico, and I remember that. As a matter of fact, I think I took him to the studio once.
Oh, really?
You met him a long time ago, I think once.
Okay.
But when he first came from Mexico, he had nothing. Just looked, like he had been traveling for a month. He smelled and everything, and that was my first taste. And I just felt so bad for him. So I was like, and at that time I was working at Fresh Choice, and I was making a little money. Mm-hmm. And my mom's like, make him feel at home. Don't he doesn't have anybody but my stepfather. Just don't be mean to him. Show him around. Show him some love. And I was like, cool, I got you. And right off the bat, I noticed he was like, oh, he's just like me, just coming from Michoacan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's cool, you know what I mean? And he was exposed to a lot of things like we were too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was no different from me. And so I was like, you know what? Let's go. I told him to hop in the car. Well, first of all, I let him borrow some clothes because the clothes that he had on were just, it was not going to happen. I was like, we're going to go to the mall, bro. So I'm going to make you look good.
Yeah.
So I let him borrow some shoes. I let him borrow some clothes, and I took him shopping. The second day he was here, I took him to the Great Mall, bought him some shoes, bought him some clothes, and and I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there you go, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would take him around, and I remember Sergio?
Yeah.
Remember Sergio's house?
Yeah.
So I took him there a couple of times, and the first time I took him there, I got him fucked up.
Of course you would.
So, tequila, weed, everything. Everything we were doing in there. I'm telling you, he partook in everything. And I just remember seeing him, and he was already fucked up. And I was like, oh shit, I can't take him home like that. I was like, oh my god. So I remember him. He gets up from the living room and he walks towards the restroom, and I was like, where's he going? Oh, he's probably going to go throw up or something, right? Oh, whatever. So he goes into the restroom, and I just completely forget about him. Everywhere I think at that time we were watching I think it was a UFC fight, and we were there for the UFC fights, and so we were, drinking, chilling, talking, lounging, and I think Sergio goes, oh fuck, what's going on here? And I get up and I look, I was like, what happened? He goes, hey, who brought this guy over? And I'm like, oh shit. So I remember getting up, and I go inside the bathroom. Dude, he threw up everywhere, bro. I'm talking about
you make a mess.
Not a single morsel. Everything was covered in freaking throw up.
Shit.
Yeah, so he probably threw up like The Exorcist. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
everywhere.
I think I might remember that day.
Yeah, and I had to clean it up. He's like, you better clean that shit up. I was like, oh god, damn.
And you took him home after?
So no, dude. So check this out. I remember we left like around 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and he was still fucked up. I was still fucked up. So I remember just parking in front of the house, and I just told him, just stay in here.
Yeah.
Just stay in here. Don't even go in the house. Don't even go in the house. Just sleep in the car. And I didn't think my stepdad was going to come out. But my stepdad was already waiting. He was already waiting outside because he was pissed because we didn't come home, and he already knew. He's like, oh, this motherfucker over here probably took him to go get high and fucked up and all that. Oh. And my stepdad just comes to the car, and he's like, roll the window down. I was like, oh, fuck. So I put the window down, and he's like, ¿Qué le pasa? ¿Qué tiene este Ricardo? And I was like, pues está dormido. No. Huele como alcohol acá. ¿Hicieron drogas? ¿Que no? ¿Hicieron drogas? Like, no hicimos nada. Nomás fuimos a la casa de mi amigo y fuimos a ver la pelea y quién sabe qué. And he's like, no. Ricardo, levántate. And he's all fucked up. He's all,
still throwing
and
up.
I was like, oh shit.
And
that's, oh my god, my mom was pissed. Yeah, so ever since that day, he wasn't allowed to kick it with me no more. But we would still hang out there, escondidas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the cut. I know we were working at Fresh Choice, at the same time. So yeah, but that was hilarious, man. Hilarious.
So to switch it a bit before we wrap it up soon, I also want to touch on the Tiburones GC. So if you want to talk a little bit about that and because I think you mentioned something about that gaming has changed your life in a way that it's helped you, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So basically, the reason why, I've always been a gamer ever since I was a kid, with Super Nintendo, Sega, what have you.
Yeah.
But now, gaming has done so much for me in terms of, keeping myself above water, for many people that don't know. And, I came down with an autoimmune disease, and it's by the name of rheumatoid arthritis. And it's basically my immune system is overreactive, and it's confused, and it attacks my organs, and it attacks my joints. So I lost my ability to walk about 4 years ago. So I'm wheelchair bound, unfortunately, and it's been a major life change for me.
Yeah. And
in the beginning, it was hard to cope. It was hard to cope with these harsh realities and what I was going through. Because the person I was before this, I was strong, able, handsome, what have you.
Still handsome.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like fucking, I've always been able to do things. I've always been independent. Never, had any problems doing whatever I needed to do.
Yeah.
and with this illness, I can't even put on my socks on sometimes, and I can't walk, and there's days where the pain threshold is at like a 15, and I'm just pretty much in bed all day because I can't move because of just how painful it's. I'm pretty much arthritic all over my body. It's bone on bone. So, for example, if I'll move, you'll hear clicking noises, and it's pretty much both of my knees rubbing together, and that's very painful, because you got the nerves running down.
Yeah.
So I know before all this happened, I would love to go to the gym. I would be active. I would get myself involved in sports, Sunday leagues, soccer, anything, what I mean? And at one point I was going to American Kickboxing Academy, and I was, on my way to becoming a mixed martial artist, MMA.
Oh, yeah.
And I was training every day.
Yeah.
I was training, alongside, Josh Koscheck, John Fitch, Cain Velasquez, those guys at American Kickboxing Academy. So I was in that transition before I got sick. So if I wouldn't have gotten sick, I'd probably be in Bellator or UFC by now. Well, that was a goal.
Hey,
that was a goal.
Who knows, right?
That was a goal.
Yeah.
That was a goal. So, but when I got sick, I had to pretty much, forfeit all that. That was no longer a possibility for me because of my condition. And, so it was a huge life change, and I wasn't ready for it. So I was depressed. And I didn't know how to, handle that. But luckily, I have a strong support system. I have, a family that's there for me, friends that look out for me and show me that there's much more to, life than just, being down and out.
Yeah.
So I I decided to turn the corner, and gaming has been one of those, where I can express some of those competitive nature I have in gaming, because gaming is growing immensely now more than ever, because people are just playing video games because they can't do shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's, like famous, like athletes, famous people, they're playing, they're playing the PlayStation. You can go on Twitch. There's big platforms, and you can make money, with gaming. So gaming is not the same as it was 20 years ago. Gaming is the future. It's getting bigger. The production values is growing. You know what I mean? They have like these tournaments, where they have like teams, cities, like a football team, where they have these gaming teams represent a city, and they go at it playing, like Rainbow Six or Call of Duty, what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's become much more competitive, and it's definitely an outlet that I've been taking advantage of, because I've always been a competitive person.
Yeah.
And I can finally express that through gaming. And certainly that's what it's been doing for me, man. It's been helping me in a lot of ways. Some people think, oh, it's video games. What are you doing? You're just being lazy. I'm like, well, pump the brakes. Let me explain what it has done for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I've been able to, to distract myself, playing video games, and like I said, express some of those competitive, that competitive juices through gaming. And not only that, though, meet new people, friends, you know what I mean? And, start a click and just basically, have fun at the end of the day. And it's been doing a lot for me mentally, you know what I mean? Because I can get away from some of these harsh realities that I'm living.
Yeah.
And then today, people can get away from, the virus. I think people are sick and tired of hearing, how many people died from the COVID virus and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I just need to get away.
Yeah.
And video gaming is just it. You know what I'm saying? You got sports games, you got role-playing games. Dude, let me tell you, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed Origins and you're into like ancient Egypt, that is the game to play. Let me tell you, it's crazy,
It's like you put it all out there, on the game.
Yeah. Like I'm telling you, man, gaming, video games, or, you got open world maps, and you can live in alternative reality. It's crazy. You can live in an alternative, universe or
world. It's like
world.
The Sims, right?
Yeah, The Sims, exactly. But yeah, man.
Have you met any of the people that you meet online in person, or is this just online?
No, but I've added some like on like Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, and you talk to them?
Yeah. So, yeah. Not
cool.
Not like actively. Before we would talk almost every day, but
yeah.
But I made some friends on there, and yeah, we keep in touch here and there, and some of them actually joined my my gaming club.
Yeah.
So it's not just my gaming club, but it belongs to all of us. You know what I mean? I created it because there's a lot of us that want to stream, and eventually some of us are streaming already, but some of us are going to head in that direction. But yeah, it's basically a platform where we can all grow. You know what I mean? And then eventually I'm going to start selling merchandise, and then the end goal is to fund our streaming.
Yeah.
Nobody has to pay a dime, paying for, for whatever you need to stream.
Yeah.
So I basically want to self-fund the team, and then eventually grow, and then maybe we can join some of these regional tournaments and compete and go to one of those. The end game is to participate in one of those big esports tournaments.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man, definitely. So that's So let me direct you to the page. It's _GC, Tiburones Gaming Club. And it's just basically right now it just started about a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're slowly growing. We're always putting content highlights and directing you to other things that we do. But yeah, we're gonna definitely be doing more reviews, streaming, what have you. Some comedic stuff as well. We're gonna try to be creative, but yeah. So for those that want to follow us on Instagram, follow us. We also got a Twitter as well. Same thing, Tiburones_GC. Mm-hmm. And follow us. Show us some love, man. Much appreciated.
For sure. Send me those links after we're done. But check this guy out. Check out Tiburones. And I think with that we're gonna wrap this up. And if you want to throw any plugs or any shout outs or anything you want to say at the end.
Oh man, shout out to everybody, brother. Shout out to Il, Daniel, you know what I mean? Apex, the foundation. Shout out to you. Thank you, Savvy, for being so gracious and always showing love. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Gabriel Cardenas, Angel Anaya. Everybody out there. Shout out to all the homies from Checkers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what I mean? Just much love and stay safe, everybody. Cover your mouths. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wear gloves and stay in your house.
Yes, definitely.
Stay in your house once you got to go out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you again, Frankie, for being on the Teal Grit podcast. I hope you have a good day. I'm pretty sure we'll have many more of these talks in the future, so it was good catching up with you, bro.
Absolutely. You too, man. Stay up, all right? Take care of yourself,
man. All right, you too, man.
All right. Much love.